We share, and we've been very vocal about many of the concerns that you just enumerated from these outside groups. We're very concerned, as you've heard from Tom West, as you've heard from others in the department, about humanitarian situation in Afghanistan that only seems to be deteriorating. This is the result of many things: years of war, drought, and of course the Taliban's forced takeover of the country and the continued absence of a functioning financial system. All of them have come together in this confluence and have produced a severe humanitarian crisis that we're witnessing now. You know, I think the fact is that even before the Taliban took over in Kabul, Afghanistan's economy, it was impaired by many structural impediments. The Afghan people were left to rely on international aid and international assistance for some of their basic services. International aid, I believe it is, funded 75% of the Afghanistan's public expenditures and represented about 40% of the country's GDP. In the lead up to the Taliban takeover, we were very clear that if they pursued a military path, they would be making a choice that would in many ways complicate our ability to continue to provide the same level of assistance that the United States and the international community had delivered in the past. And the Taliban heard that same message from many of our partners in the international community. Now, in the midst of this, as you alluded to, we have continued to be the most generous humanitarian provider for the Afghan people. So far, we have provided nearly $474 million in fiscal year 2021. We've provided more than $4 billion since the United States engaged in Afghanistan in 2002. We've taken other steps that would help facilitate the provision of services and aid to the Afghan people. As you know, the Treasury Department has issued licenses to make clear that the United States is not standing in the way of humanitarian assistance and humanitarian aid for the Afghan people. It sends a signal, a very explicit signal, to countries around the world, to NGOs and others, that the United States is supportive of aid and services to the Afghan people who have long been suffering even prior to the Taliban takeover. Our assistance is providing life-saving services in many ways. It's providing life-saving food, shelter, water, medical care to Afghans in need. Our partners on the ground, they remain operational and they've been able to make good use of some of the $474 million that we provided in this fiscal year alone. Right now, for instance, our partners are conducting winterization assessments in 23 of Afghanistan's 34 provinces, and they plan to begin related relief commodity distributions in the weeks ahead. We previously have spoken to the health care that our funding is providing, the food and nutrition support that our humanitarian aid and assistance is providing. So the United States has stepped up. We continue to call upon the international community to do more of the same in some cases, or to do the same in the case of other countries, and including those in and near the region who have yet to provide the sort of meaningful support that the Afghan people need. We have demonstrated our commitment not only through word but also in deed, and we will continue to call upon the international community to raise its ambition when it comes to the level and scale of humanitarian assistance for the Afghan people. And then one final point on this. In our engagement with the Taliban, we have made very clear to them, and we made clear to them before they took over Kabul, and certainly after, including last week when Special Representative for Afghanistan Tom West met with senior Taliban delegation, that we would be looking to the Taliban's conduct in key areas. And that includes in human rights. It includes in terms of their counterterrorism commitments. It includes in terms of providing safe passage to Americans, LPRs, and to others who wish to leave the country. And it includes in terms of a government that is inclusive and representative of the people of Afghanistan, that those criteria, among others, would really form the backbone of what we are or not able to do with any future government of Afghanistan. That in no way changes the decisions that the Taliban makes, in no way changes the decision that we will make in terms of our humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. But if the Taliban are looking for a deeper relationship with the international community, including the U.S., it's their conduct that we will look to in terms of devising what that might look like.
So